first revisit some core concepts so that all of us are on the same page. Number one, the blockchain. A blockchain is like a database. Many blockchains are open to public, so anyone can interface with them. Now, no single person owns the blockchain. Blockchains, once they get traction, they live forever. The data on them is forever as well. No one can hide or delete that data. No one can shut down that blockchain. Sometimes people call them the single source of truth. Next concept I'll touch upon is smart contracts. Now, I just said blockchains are like a database. Well, smart contracts turn that database into a computer. So instead of just a database, blockchains with smart contract functionality can be thought of as computers that nobody owns, but anybody can use. Computers that nobody can shut down. Computers that compute forever. When some information exists on these computers, that information is forever as well. Now, the biggest blockchains in the world, as everybody knows, are Bitcoin and Ethereum. There are tons of others, with their own little variations and bits and bobs. So what is an NFT? An NFT is just a certificate of ownership, nothing more than that. It certifies that entity X owns object Y. For example, it could certify that I own a car, or a piece of land, or a Fortnite skin, or even a JPEG file. So what's the big deal? Well, the big deal is when you put that certificate on those immortal blockchain computers I just talked about, that certificate lives forever, meaning you can track any object's ownership as if it's the word of God. And in a world where people are obsessed with owning things, that makes all the difference. At the moment, NFTs are being used to certify all kinds of ownership. For example, ownership of digital art, ownership of music, like you can actually own a song that nobody else owns. Ownership of game items, ownership of moments in time, that's possible too. Ownership of experiences, ownership of rights, ownership of something as basic as tweets. So it's the mundane and the profound mixed together. If you want to know more, you can search about NFTs. There are many ways to describe them. They have many attributes. You'll find a ton of stuff. Now, as universal as NFTs are, they're going to become even more so because of something called the Metaverse. Let me quickly explain what's the Metaverse, and then I'll talk about its connection to NFTs. The Metaverse is interconnected virtual worlds. You can jump from one world to the next without having to come back to real life. Many smart people think that the internet is going to evolve into the Metaverse. Instead of apps or websites, you'll have virtual worlds. And you'll spend most of your time in this Metaverse, like you already spend most of your time on the internet. People will build much more stuff in the Metaverse than they've built in real life because you don't need bricks and cement to build something in virtual reality, right? You only need imagination. That's why the Metaverse will be 100x bigger than real life. So how does the Metaverse relate to NFTs? Well, every object in the Metaverse could be an NFT. Entire worlds can be NFTs.